By attending this conference, you are demonstrating your personal investment in the idea of the Salvation Army as a learning organization.
And your presence at this event shows that you are all transformational leaders. Transactional leaders act and expect team members to act as though everything was a transaction. For example, a painter is hired to paint a room, and for his services, he is paid an agreed upon sum. But in the nonprofit world, we have the chance to be transformational leaders, raising the personal expectations of those we manage to become everything they can be, and providing help, but with hope.
But this is no small task, however. For many, hope is a scarce commodity. In his book, Leading Without Power, Finding Hope in a Serving Community, Max Dupree asks this question: how can we quantify the hope created by the Salvation Army? After all, the money has been spent, the classes taught, the help given, the medicine distributed. Isn't it the hope that remains and grows? That, friends, is far more than a transaction. It is transformational.
Following the teachings of Jesus, a provider of hope, health, and salvation, we find that he is the ultimate transformational leader. He turned the religious and political convention of the day on its ear.
He washed his disciples' feet. He healed the sick and the blind and said things like, "Take up your bed and walk." To others he said, "Go and sin no more." He took people from where they were to a new place of hope. He still does that today.
Advisory board members, as our highest level of volunteers, you have chosen to be here at this conference. You have chosen to make a difference. You have chosen to be a lifelong learner and a transformational leader.
We welcome you from all over Wisconsin and Upper Michigan Division, believing that God will honor your desire to better serve those in need who desperately need this hope through the vehicle of the Salvation Army.
Will you please pray with me as we ask God's blessing on this conference and on our meal this afternoon? Heavenly Father, we love you so much. We thank you for your many blessings and your goodness to us. And we thank you, Father, for Stan Kelly and the Development Department who have worked so hard and so diligently to plan this conference, to put everything together. And now that it's coming to fruition, we thank you, Lord. We pray that through every word that is spoken, through the speakers, through those that are teaching workshops, Lord, we pray that every word will bring honor and glory to you, and that we will learn new things to take back to the core and to the division, Lord, so that we can better serve your people. We pray now that you would bless the food to our bodies. We pray that it would nourish us. And Lord, may our conversation around the tables be pleasing in your sight. We love you so much, Lord. And now we thank you, and in your Son's name we pray. Amen.
And now, you will be dismissed by tables to join the buffet line which has been set for us. Please take this opportunity to get to know those who are seated at your table. After we have enjoyed our lunch, the guest speakers will be introduced. The commissioner is as well as the total leader of the Salvation Army for the Central 11 states. He carries the weight of all the final decisions, leads the board of directors there, and is a person who brings a great skill and expertise to us. The commissioner is really from the Western Territory, out in the sunnier side of the country, out in California, where he and his wife have had several appointments, and from corps officers to divisional leaders to territorial leaders, and came here about 6 years ago as our chief secretary, second in charge, and then about 2.5 years ago succeeded to leading the territory. Unfortunately, his wife isn't with us. I think she's at a youth council's, if I recall her sharing correctly, a couple of days ago. And but we're glad that Commissioner Paul could be with us and spend these 2 days being with us. But please welcome Commissioner Paul Simon.
Well, it's a great privilege to be with you. Thank you, every Corps officer, every advisory board for your investment in this time to make the work of the Army in your community more effective in the days ahead. Well, thank you for that kind welcome. It's always good to be in the presence of your divisional leaders, Majors Bob and Nancy Thompson. In fact, earlier this week, last weekend and Monday, we were in Milwaukee for the annual divisional review and left Monday evening, and here I am back again. I imagine the divisional staff's getting a little tired of seeing me at this point in time. Thank you, divisional leaders, for your encouragement to the vision of Stan Kelly and the Development Department to do this kind of advisory board training in the division. Truthfully, we don't do this enough across America. We probably don't do it because advisory board members are very busy people. You're leaders in your communities, and to make the investment of 2 days is not easy because there's work that you need to do and there are family needs that you need to meet. But I think you've done the right thing in doing this event, and I know this time together is going to be very worthwhile. The growth of the Salvation Army work in communities is largely dependent on the strength of the advisory board. I hope you know that across America. We need your wisdom and your involvement and your support. Now, you'd be pleased to know that you join nearly 58,000 other advisory board members across America, all with the same passion for the mission of the Army to help those who come to us in need in our communities. Now, in the divisional review last week, and I would imagine as well in your reading, we're hearing a lot more these days about inputs versus outputs, or measuring activity versus results or outcomes. It's not uncommon in a divisional review, and I have the opportunity to facilitate that in 5 divisions each year. And as we ask the divisions to do goal setting, I sometimes have to remind divisional staff that training and education is not an outcome or a result, it's an activity. For example, if Stan Kelly came to Major Thompson and said, you know, I have this advisory board event coming up, and last time we did it, 13 years ago, we had 100, and this year my goal is I want to have 150 there. Well, that's 50% increase. That's pretty, sounds like a pretty good goal. You'd have to say it's not a goal. It's an action step to accomplish the goal. Why are the members coming to this event? It's education, it's training, it's an activity. You see, the reality is 13 years ago and today, if you all go home and don't act any differently as advisory board members, the best we can say for this event is we had good fellowship and a good time and an inspirational time together, but we haven't impacted the Army's work in the front lines. Now, we have some great workshops, and I've looked over and I know many of the leaders of these workshops. There are some wonderful best practices you're going to gain from your conversation with each other. But I hope tomorrow at noon, when we conclude our time together, every one of you will have 2 or 3 starred items. They're items that you'll maybe talk, if you have other advisory board members and your Corps officers here, you'll talk about while you're here. But when you go home, you'll take 2 or 3 ideas with you to make the Army's work more effective. These are going to be great times together. Thank you again for your investment in the Army, and God bless you all, each one.
Thank you, Commissioner. Next, I'd like to introduce to you Leroy Butler. Now, when he sat down, he said, now, you don't need to read all the pages that they've given to me. He said, if you do, he's just going to tell it to you all over again. So I'm not going to do that. But what fascinated me the most is I didn't realize where the Lambeau Leap came from. You see, I was born in the wrong part of the country. I was born just a little south of here. Oh, yeah. Well, you said she should have introduced you in that meeting. But again, you know, you watch the TV and they always show the players after they've scored that winning touchdown, well, any touchdown, trying to, in some cases, leap into the stands. And I didn't realize that it didn't start until just a few years ago. I thought it was probably a long-standing tradition here in Green Bay, but you did it the first time and set the standard for everybody else, and that's fascinating. But Leroy's going to come and share with us from his past and challenge us as he shares with us this afternoon. Please welcome Leroy back.
A couple things I got to address really quick. I got a lot of Twitter followers. I tweeted that I was hanging out with the commissioner. I don't want to name drop, but true story, some guy retweeted back, said you went to school with his father. So I want to know what kind of student you were back then, but I'll let you guys know later. And one thing I really want to say real quick, because I had an experience, this is the first time I told this story, but I remember I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm from the inner city, one of the worst housing apartments in the South. It was pretty bad. Actually, for 38 straight days, we averaged one homicide. It was just, crime was just bad. And I remember picking up the newspaper, because my mom always told me you can learn stuff in the newspaper. And the Salvation Army, there was a lot of, trust me, there's a lot of organizations out there, and we know that. But not all of them do what they say they're going to do. So as kids, you're just kind of skeptical. And there was an article in the newspaper that said if you cut it out and bring it to the Salvation Army, you get like a surprise. And it was around Christmas time. And I'm thinking, well, every kid's going to see this. I mean, so should I do it? So I cut it out, of course. And again, I used to get hand-me-down from my brothers and never had any new shoes or anything. And there was some brand new Converse shoes. They were called Chuck Taylors. And I was like, man, I'm down there. And I didn't know it was in alphabetical order. So there's a lot of kids there, but I got a chance to go first. And I said, I want those shoes. And she said, well, where's the article? And I had it all in my pocket. I had gum stuck to it, and I'm pulling it all out. And I gave it to the young lady, and she says, you can get the shoes. And she said, wait, what size? I said, it doesn't matter. I want those shoes. And ever since then, I'll never forget that because my mom couldn't afford new shoes, but you would think as a kid, you never forget stuff like that. And it was very emotional because when I went to school, I was telling the kids about how I got them, and a lot of kids said, you know, I didn't even pay attention to that article. And that's why, you know, you gotta always read. You know, you never know. You get free stuff, you know. So I want to thank you guys for my new shoes. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, now we're gonna have some fun today. Okay, we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna educate you on a lot of things, and a lot of it anywhere from role models to the Lambeau Leap, of course, the Green Bay Packers, where I came from, and how do you become successful. I do a lot of speaking engagements, and when I talk to some of the kids, they think I was born a Green Bay Packer. I said, no, I had it pretty rough. And I'm also going to tell you about some intimate things in my life that I don't necessarily share with everybody, but it's some stuff that you're going to find out today that if you Google or Wikipedia, you may not find out about me, that can be the same as in your family. And I think one of the biggest things is the connection. So I'm going to try to do my best to connect you, myself, Salvation Army, and everybody that does something good for people. When somebody is somewhere dependent upon you, for that one guy who's, you know, outside maybe the Walmart and it's 16 below and he's still ringing that bell. That we are counting on him, and that's what I tell my kids, you never know. So, okay, my name is Leroy Butler. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. Again, the housing project was terrible. I remember at 3 or 4 years old, I couldn't run and jump like the other kids, and I never could really understand. I'm a little young, a little goofy, so I really don't know. And the older I got, I still couldn't do that. And I just remember having these braces on my legs. You ever seen that movie, Forrest Gump? Yeah. Same thing, and I got them on my legs, and I'm sitting in a wheelchair, and then all of a sudden, you know, I just started to wonder why. Because we stayed where we lived right across the street with the park. So you can see kids running and jumping and organized sports, and I couldn't do that. I stayed inside with my mom, and I just asked her one day, what's the deal with my feet? You know, she said, you're extremely pigeon-toed and you got club feet. So we don't know, doctor included, we don't know if you ever run or jump, you know? So I said, well, okay, that's fine. I just wanted to know, because I know that, you know, in the inner city, we had these bunk beds, and I know that I got 3 brothers and a sister. I know that no one wanted to sleep on the bottom bunk with me because I had these braces on. They were really cold, so my sister would put socks over the top of them. And, you know, we always had humor with it, you know, because this was way before RoboCop was out, too. They used to call me Robo-Kid, and I had fun with it. But here's the thing that made me a leader, not a follower. I never looked up to God and say, why me? Why did you put me here? I never did that. But every single day, I would get on the bus, and we had the little short bus too, just me and the driver. That's all the room we had, little short bus. And she would drive down in front, and we'd laugh about it because she always taught me that, my mom, that if you laugh at yourself, you don't give people a chance to laugh at you. Because you gotta find out what humor is all about. So every single day, it was these 3 guys. Every single day, they were waiting to bully me. I mean, I'm going anything from racial slurs to poverty, anything, you name it, whatever derogatory comment. Every single day, the bus driver, she'd get out, bless her heart, she'd let the little ramp down, because she had to like turn it and crank it down, and me and her are laughing, because it is kind of funny. I mean, to be honest, it's kind of funny, and she's cranking it, kind of hits the concrete really loud. Boom! And then here come these 3 guys, right on time. I'm thinking, okay, well, what's going on? She said, do you want me to walk you to class? I said, no, I can take care of it from here. So I come down the ramp in a wheelchair, and these guys, they were just letting me have it. And I just ignore them. And I'll go back and real quick and tell you how I ignored them. Because I remember my mom asking everybody to come down to the living room. I want all the kids down to the living room. I said, oh boy, what'd I do? You know? She said, I want to find out what do you want to be when you grow up. I said, okay, now why does she want to know this, you know? So my little brother went first. He said, I want to be Superman. My sister goes, does he know Superman is white? Now, the next brother said, hey, I don't know what I want to be. I just want to be rich like the local pimp. You got people running around. There's a big hat, leather coat, fur on it. I want to be like that guy. My mother goes, okay, 2 dumb kids. Next. My sister says, you know what, I want to be a nurse because I want to help people. Well, all right, finally some brains in the family. Then you got this African-American in a wheelchair. And I look up, and I got this big smile on my face, sort of like the one I have all the time. I said, you know what, I want to be a professional football player. I like the way one guy gets in front of 10 guys, he yells at them, and they go do what he says. I like that. So she said, oh, okay, all right, I get it, but my sister says, you do know you're in a wheelchair, right? Why? The Lord's going to catch me up. Don't worry about it. Because I had this agreement with God. I said, listen, if you ever give me a chance to get out, I'll do the right thing. I promise you I won't get in any trouble. I mean, wait a minute. I'm thinking that, because remember, my mom told me she don't know if I'll ever be there. So get back to the bullying. She told me if you want to play, my mom, if you want to play professional football, there's going to be 80,000 people in this stadium. They're not going to always cheer for you. They may say something bad about me, your brothers, your sister, or the team you're representing. You got to put these blinders on. You got to ignore them. So when the guys would say all this stuff about me, I looked as if it was a stadium, the school, and these guys were The Minnesota Vikings. So I just kind of plugged that in there quite a bit, right? I didn't really know about Minnesota then, but hey, it works. But I looked at them at the crowd noise, and it never bothered me. So I'm just going to class, and they're just saying all this stuff. And one time I just stopped and turned around, because I was kind of good at this chair. You know? I said, guys, listen to me. Let me talk to you for a minute. You guys better be nice to me, because one day, you're going to want my autograph. I'm going to be really famous. So after they got off the ground from laughing really hard, it just seemed like every day one guy would leave. Then it was two guys. I just ignored them. I didn't give them the power to know that it bothered me. Because my mom always told me, if you show weakness, people act on that and they fuel off of it. She said, bullying is about the power that you give them. Take it back. Let them know that, you know what, that doesn't bother me. And this was all before cyberbullying now with Facebook. You know, you can say something about a kid. And, you know, we've had kids kill themselves because of what another kid said. Listen, delete the account. Let's move forward. Take the power back. So this is a 9-year-old kid being intelligent and more smarter than two 12-year-olds that thought they knew everything. So after a while, there was only one guy there. The other guy said, this is boring. The kid's too smart. We can't get to him. Next thing you know, the bus driver said, where are those guys? That's how I dealt with them. I made them think that what they're doing is stupid. And then the older I got, I felt like, you know, I want this opportunity to play sports, and I'm still in this wheelchair. I got to tell you a real quick story. I got out of the wheelchair. My sister was ready for the prom, and as you ladies, I have to say it. Although you ladies are smarter than men, I got to say this, I'm sorry. She's always late to everything, my sister. So her date's at the door, knocking on the door. She said, hey, is that my date? No, it's the mailman. Keep getting ready. Now, you ladies know that you never leave your date with your brothers, right? Breaking news, right? So this guy comes in, I'm telling you, Commissioner, I promise you, this guy had an afro about the size of this thing here. He had the biggest afro in the world. He comes in and says, hey, where's my sister's flowers? Man, is that a zit on your nose? Man, you are ugly. Who picked that suit out? He said, come on, guys, all I want to do is take her to the prom. So now you would think talent would be catching an Aaron Rodgers pass with one hand, or beating the Chicago Bears for 10 years in a row. I'm sorry. We're still friends, right? But I know. Protect me, Commissioner, please. But see, here's the thing. You would think that's talent, but that's not talent. Talent is when my sister is running down these stairs in 6-inch heels and she doesn't fall. That's real talent. So when she turns the corner, she knocks me out of the wheelchair. And I'm standing up, and just like Forrest Gump, the braces, they break. I'm like, oh, man. I'm standing, I'm not wobbling, I don't need the crutches, you know, the ones that you put your arm through. I mean, I don't need any of that. I'm standing up. And that's when I had my agreement with God. If you give me a chance. So he was giving me a chance. I got to take advantage of it. So we're jumping up and down, high five, and we looked at my sister's date and said, oh my God, it was this dysfunctional family. I got a kid in a wheelchair, all of a sudden it walks, I'm late to the prom, this is terrible. But that's when I knew that the Lord put me on the earth to make a difference. And it was baseball season. So I said, Mom, I want to play baseball. Then I said, well, how do you play baseball? Well, I'm assuming they teach you. So this is why I played for the Packers instead of the Brewers. I went out for baseball, right? So I got in the batter's box and I'm waiting like this. And, you know, I know you guys do this. I'm waiting for the first pitch, and the first pitch is right at me. And I stopped. Like, hey, what are you doing? No one told me that if you yell at the pitcher, he'll throw at you again. I didn't know that. So the next pitch was right at my head. So I dropped the bat and the helmet goes flying. And all of a sudden I felt this angel. And it was my mom. She came out of the stand and she grabbed me right in the batter's box. She said, look, we're quitting baseball. You're going to play football when they hit back. Let's go. No more baseball. No baseball. Then it was football season, junior high. I said, oh man, I want to play football. You know, I really didn't know a whole lot, okay? I didn't know a whole lot. I just know that you get this oblong thing and you grab it and you run and people chase you and it's kind of weird. And my brother said, if you ever get that football, think about all the stray dogs that chase us when we were little. I said, okay, but you remember I was in a wheelchair. I mean, well, think of being scared of something. You just outrun everybody. I said, okay, great. So I said, Coach, am I going to get in the game? He said, yeah, we're going to put you in the game when we're comfortably ahead. Now, I'm not a math major, but I looked up at the score. We were up 56 to nothing. But I was the worst kid on the team, and I said, well, and we got on all white, so everybody's dirty but me. You can pick me out. My mom screaming, put my son in the game, you idiot! So the coach said, okay, go in the game. Now here's why I talk slow, because there may be some undercover Vikings or Bear fans. So because I feel bad because they don't know a whole lot about football, and I try to help them out. But we get in this huddle, right? This circle like your table. We're in this huddle, and the quarterback looks at me. He says, look, I'm going to give you the ball to the left. Ready, break. We break the huddle. So I'm the tailback, so I'm the deepest guy, and I'm like, no, wait a minute. He was facing me. So I never did this before. I said, well, if he's facing me, he'll give it to the left. It's his right. So maybe I should go to, he's the leader. I'll go to his left, which is my right, whatever. So all of a sudden I go the wrong way and we fumble the ball. We jump on the ball. The coach, Butler, go to your left. I said, he said the left. He didn't say his or mine. I said, this kid is giving us come on. So we get in the huddle again. The quarterback said, where's your left? I said, right here. Go in that direction. Ready, break. Now I'm supposed to be standing like this waiting on the ball, right? I was like this. I didn't want to forget. My sister say, look, cross your fingers, you won't forget. So now I get the ball right, and I'm running down the sideline. I'm outrunning everybody. I mean, just like Forrest Gump. I mean, I'm just outrunning everybody, and I get about to the 5-yard line, and those feet, I'll tell you, I really pigeon-toed, and they tried to straighten up, but they keep going back. All of a sudden, I just trip and I fall. They thought a sniper took me out or something. I just run. So the coach runs, are you okay? I said, yeah, everything's fine. Well, you could have scored. I said, it's okay. I don't want the other team to know we're running the score. Just tell them I faked it. No big deal. So that's when I said, this football thing is really good. And imagine, real quick, if you're in a wheelchair, African-American, poverty-stricken, no money, wearing hand-me-downs, to running a football, you had to think you had a direct connection to God. So I'm thinking, this is what I want to do. So when I get in high school, I was 142 pounds. And the coach said, the only position you can sign up is linebacker. I said, wait a minute, whoa. Linebackers are 200 pounds. I'm going to get killed. No, son, listen, don't worry about that. Don't let people tell you how big you got to be. It's about heart. He's trying to sell me, right? I said, okay, you sold me, I'll try. And I didn't get killed, but it was close. My junior year, I got up to a whopping 161 pounds. Ate a lot of Fruit Loops and Sugar Smacks. I gained a lot of weight. So, switched from 2% milk to whole milk. Gained a little weight. Now, my senior year, 180 pounds. I said, Mom, I'm getting these letters every day. What does this mean? She said, you may go to college. I said, wait a minute. How many people in my family ever been to college? You'd be the first. Wait a minute, let me get this straight. You saying the family tree? She said, yeah, the leaves, the roots, everything. You'd be the first one. You don't think of it, you'd be the first. I said, wow. So I'm thinking going to college would be a big deal. So I go to Florida State University and I find out that I didn't pass the SAT test. Another piece of adversity. But I didn't let that stop me. My freshman year, I couldn't play. My sophomore year, pretty decent football player. My junior year, okay. My senior year, okay, I was a consensus All-American. Give me a round of applause. Yeah. So then, I got a chance to meet Bob Hope. Now, a lot of you may not know about Bob Hope if you don't have television. But Bob Hope was he was an icon. And I got a chance to meet him and meet Dolly Parton, Ed McMahon, and all these guys. And this Hollywood thing is great. And then it was something, ladies, I apologize for this. I said a lot of crazy stuff, but this next thing kind of threw me back. I got this letter again. It had a rabbit on it. I said, why is the Easter Bunny writing us letters? And I said, okay, we're going to this mansion. Okay, I'll just follow Emmitt Smith. So me and Emmitt Smith, and he's from Pensacola, Escambia, where they got like chickens running everywhere, pigs running everywhere. He's never been out west of California. I mean, we're not used to this. We're from the country, in the city. So when we get to this place, right, and I get there and they got this big foyer. I learned that word. I thought it was just the entrance, but it was like a foyer. And I'm standing there, and then all of a sudden I see all these girls walking around. I see this guy walking down the stairs, spiral, by the way, in silk pajamas. I said, who is that? They said, that's Hugh Hefner. I said, that's my new role model right there. Has a pipe in his mouth. He comes down and you made the Playboy All-American team. And, you know, got 2 rules. Don't steal nothing and don't touch the girls. So Emmitt Smith said, hey, why are we here? I said, I don't know. It's, you know, you just got to see this mansion. Then all of a sudden, this Burbank studio stuff is not for me. We get back on the plane. I get back. April 30th, 1990. One of 32 teens is going to call into the projects and give me a lot of cash. Go, man, was I broke? Now think about this. African American, in a wheelchair, sister knocking him out, that may get drafted. Think about it. I mean, this is not a mistake how my life went. It's like a real movie. So all of a sudden, I find out, wait a minute, 1 second. Any police in here? Okay, good, don't tell anybody. But the NFL draft was on cable. We didn't have cable. I said, Mom, wait a minute, we don't have cable, I can't get drafted. How am I gonna know? So we had my neighbor climb a 50-foot pole to get some bootleg cable. He climbs up this tree, hey! You got cable for about an hour. Well, all right, I get drafted. Everybody rushed back in the apartment. No air conditioning, by the way. It's about 115 degrees. So we get in there, the first round starts, no phone call. The second round starts, no phone call. I'm like, wait a minute, I met Bob Hope. I'm this is All-American. You know, this is terrible. I got to get drafted, you know. And something told me to just go check the phone. We only got 1 phone. So I go check the phone, and my sister's on the phone. I know what you guys are thinking. Well, why didn't she just click over, Butler? I know it's 3-way calling. No, no, no. Y'all remember those rotary phones you dial at 9 and it takes an hour to come back? We had one of those. I said, can you please hang the phone up? I'd like to get drafted. Thank you. Hang up the phone. She said, okay. Okay. My brother's getting drafted. I'll call you back. She hangs the phone up. True story. Not a lot of people know this. True story. The phone rang there with Lindy Infante. You remember Lindy Infante? Packer? They're like, okay, we're going to select you. Wait, hold on. I said, wait a minute, he called me and put me on hold? What is this? But they were talking to another player. Because they wanted a bigger guy to stop the run, because it was terrible stopping the run. I said, Coach, no disrespect, but I've been watching the Packers. You suck against the pass. You need to draft me, okay? Hang up on that guy. So he got back, he said, look, we're going to select you with the 48th pick. In the apartment, just erupt. Just going crazy. My mom's crying, everybody jumping up and down. Now my girlfriend's in the kitchen eating the last little bit of food because she knows I'll be rich in about an hour. Hey, she's keeping it 100. I mean, she don't want to see all that stuff. Just let me know when he's picked. So she comes out with the last plate of food. Great. Where'd he get drafted? Dallas. Miami? New York. All right. My brother's going, no. She named like 2 other cities, no. Tampa, no. He's going to Green Bay and is in Wisconsin. Green Bay, oh my goodness, my refrigerator's not that cold, we're gonna die. I said, it's not cold in Wisconsin, it gotta be at least 80, 90 degrees. What are you talking about? True story. I hang the phone up, the phone rung, and it was Bill Walsh from San Francisco 49ers. I said, hello? I said, Coach, you know I've been drafted. Son, we've been trying to call you for over an hour, and your phone was busy. My sister was on the phone. Your sister was on the phone doing the draft. I said, yep. So let's recap. She knocks me out of a wheelchair, and she helps me come to the Packers. Think about that. If it wasn't for my sister, I'd still be in a wheelchair, and I wouldn't have played for the Packers. So I'm thinking, okay, great. I'm on this plane, and we're going to Green Bay. I've never been there before. I mean, to back up, I did ask Lindy, well, where's Green Bay? I'm a little confused, because sometimes you guys play in Milwaukee, and maybe that's why you lose a lot. I left that alone. I say, so don't tell any Packer fan I said that. But so I'm on this plane, and the pilot says, a beautiful day in Green Bay, the wind is coming from the north. It's a beautiful 17 degrees. She said, did he say 17 degrees? I say, no. The pilot is from the south. He drags his 7s like we do. He said 77. She said, oh, because all I brought was little skirts and tank tops. I said, you brought the right stuff, trust me. It's got to be really nice. Because when we got on the plane in Jacksonville, it was 92 degrees. And we landed. This how I knew I wanted to be in God's country the rest of my life. When I got off, there was a 92-year-old young lady. She said, come here for a minute. I said, yes, ma'am. You know, she said, 2 things to tell you. The first thing, you must never lose to the Chicago Bears. I said, okay. So I started to walk off. She said, no, come here. And she started to change into like the Incredible Hulk. I said, uh-oh. She said, you better not lose to the Minnesota Vikings. I said, whoa, man, that's a lot of pressure. I said, wait, ma'am, what about the Detroit Lions in Tampa Bay? Oh, you won't have any trouble with them. So now I get over to the stadium, I get in the locker room, I see all the banners, and I see a big picture of Bart Starr. I'm like, oh, man, this is cool. You know, Nensky and all that. You see all the Hall of Fame, you see, oh, this is awesome, man. And I'm thinking, it was 1,500 people to see me there. I said, do these people have jobs? I'm just a draft pick. Why do you leave work just to see me? But they're taking it serious. Now, 1990, we weren't very good. 1991, we weren't very good at all. I apologize for those seasons. 1992, 93, somebody said, hey, there's a new quarterback. And I looked over and I said, a new quarterback? We don't have a new quarterback. Our quarterback's Don Mikowski, 6'2" blonde kid. No, there's the new quarterback. And I looked over and I saw a guy with some real tight jeans on. The jeans were so tight, I could see his driver's license number. And he had a white t-shirt, a little spaghetti sauce on it, had a jacket sort of like the Fonz. He had a little small bag with everything he owned. And he looked like he hadn't shaved in 3 or 4 years. And they said, that's Brett Favre. Brett Favre? What? No. Jethro Tull is not our quarterback. He's not come on, he's a country guy, but he's going to help us win. Oh, okay. And then the next year, big, tall guy. I said, oh, there's Reggie White. Reggie White's in Green Bay. Is he lost? What is he doing? So I said, I got to go get his autograph. So I went over towards Reggie. It dawned on me, I've been playing for 4 years. I said, I can't get his autograph. I said, hey, Reggie, how you doing? Can I get an autograph for my daughter? Sure, what's her name? L'Oreal Butler? L'Oreal Butler. Can you make the R capital? Thank you. Coach Mike Holmgren come down to the team meeting. We had just fired Lenny and Bunch. He's never been a head coach before. And he told us some coaching words, aspirations. Then after him, Ron Wolf talked. And this was very uplifting because I was the only one left in that speech that made the transition. He said, look, a lot of y'all won't be here because I'm changing the culture. I'm going to win a championship. So we made some trades here and there, as I talked about. Things changed. 1994, pretty decent. 1995, you remember we got the Dallas Cowboys on the ropes? We got them at home, NFC Championship game. They beat us because some brilliant coach told Brett to throw the football. We won't get into that. Really emotional. A guy intercepts it, and it's what you say. We're on that plane. It's so painful. We got to get to the Super Bowl. So we go through the '96 season. We destroy everybody. I mean, 13-3, and I see a sign that says 30 years from the last championship, Green Bay Packers. I said, boy, we better beat the Carolina Panthers, or this is going to be tough. We played the Carolina Panthers in the NFC Championship game, and I just remember that game was the most uplifting game I've ever played in. And next thing you know, we're going to the Super Bowl, and we get to the Super Bowl, and we're playing New England, and you know, Bill Parcells takes his team out of time. He wants some focus. We stay right in there, right up the street from Bourbon Street. We probably party with some of you guys, by the way, down there. But we just changed the culture. So in 1996, 97, we win the Super Bowl. Give me a round of applause. Yeah, so, and in closing, what my story I came from is just like the Salvation Army. I'm relied upon to help people. My story is important. So what we're doing here today is important. We have to continue everything that we're doing. It's a lot of people could be sitting here, but the best is sitting here because of hard work. I mean, I remember sitting in that wheelchair, looking at the Lombardi Trophy, knowing it's named after the one guy that put all this together, was awesome. I mean, it just made me think that my life is really something special. My mom was my role model. She helped me. Now, the last thing I'll say is how the Lambeau Leap was born, and this is for a few people that don't know. Just a few. Now, when you retell this story, don't mess it up, because it's kind of like, 1993, I go over to the locker room, and it's a minus next to a 17. I say, hey, is this thing broken? I say, no, son, it's 17 below. You got to play. What? Do we forfeit the game? How does this work? You know, Little League, if it rains or cold, you forfeit, and somebody, no, you got to play. So I go get my uniform. I get my 36 jersey, my pants, turtleneck, my gloves, and there was one thing in there that threw me off a little bit. Some pantyhoses in there. I said, guys, why are these pantyhose in here? Is it for our wives? The manager, the equipment manager, no, you got to put them on, son, to keep you warm. Women have been keeping this secret for thousands of years. You know your husband is going out hunting and you won't give him a pair? Come on. So now, ladies, I got to go back to the locker room to find out if I'm an A, B, or a C. Nice B, by the way. So I'm putting these things on now, and I know some of you, I'm trying to help you guys. I don't want you to get sick. So I'm putting these things on, and I get around the knees, and I can't get them up. So I look around the locker room, and I see everybody struggling, trying to get these things off. Then Bryce Pop, you remember Bryce Pop? Bryce Pop goes, hey, guys, I saw my wife put them on once, and she gets around the knees, and she shakes, and they come up. So everybody's like this. Then I see Reggie White walk by, 6'5", 300 pounds. Oh! I don't know if you've seen a guy that big in pantyhose, but don't Google it. Yeah, don't go Google that. No. So I said, Reggie, oh. He said, what? I said, you got a run in yours. Come on, guys, this is national television. You got to cut your toenails before you put them on. Butler, how do you know that? I don't know. I just guessed it. So we get in the game. Calls a fumble. Reggie White picks up the ball, and he's running real slow. It was cold, but come on. So some guy slings Reggie around, and Reggie, as he's falling, he laterals me the ball. So I get this ball, and I'm running. The first thing popped in my head, I'm going to score my first NFL touchdown. But remember, in junior high, I fell, right? So don't want to fall. So I'm running down the sideline like, oh, man, this is cool. This is awesome. Thank you. This is awesome. I'm running down. Point to this guy. I'm going to jump right there. Two things are problem. The first thing, he's looking at his watch because he wants to go shoot deer. What time is this game over? Mildred, I'd like to go back into the forest and shoot Bambi's uncle. Come on. The next thing is, who's ever been to Lambeau Field? You'll back me up with this. The next day, he got a beer in his hand. And beers are about $15,000 a piece. You don't just throw it away. Okay, $8,000. So I'm running like, dude, get rid of the beer. I'm jumping right here. I mean, you could Google this part. I point to this guy, and I'm running, right? And I'm running. I throw the ball down, and I jump. As I'm jumping, you can see him trying to make a decision, like, do I catch Leroy Butler, the first ever Lambeau leap? Do I move and drink my beer and let him kill himself in this frozen wall? Big discussion. I mean, so all of a sudden he throws the beer away and he catches me. He says, you owe me a beer. I never forget. And I'm running to the sideline homeroom like, what did you do? Oh, you smell like a MGD. I said, what is it? Because I don't drink. I didn't know what it was. It's a Miller Products. It's all over the stadium. Miller. You smell like it. I had nachos all now. A brat. I had cheese. My name was Tutler instead of Butler. I had a brat. They had digging brats all out of here. And then the Lambeau Leap was born. And the commissioner said it. Look, you can't be dancing. You can't write down stuff, but you can do the Lambeau Leap. Because it's not showing up the other team, the Raiders. It was showing the love of our fans. We love you for spending your hard-earned money to come see us play. Not to mention, there's 82,000 names on that list. We got to get this thing sped up. That's why they expand the stadium. And after that, the Lambeau Leap was born, and I'll never ever forget it. So, and the very last thing I have is I started my foundation, Leroy Butler Foundation, a while ago because people say, why breast cancer? Trust me, I don't want to be stuck on the earth with a bunch of guys. Okay? I have 4 daughters, and we've been given, the difference between our foundation, a lot of other foundations, we give the money directly to the women that deserves it and needs it. They don't have health care and things of that nature. Again, my mom was my role model. And thank you guys very much. You've been a very good crowd, and I really, really, really support the Salvation Army and everything that they do. Thank you very much.
It's not, you know, the Super Bowl trophy. But
in this way it is.
In this way it is.
That's right.
But just want to give this to you,
so much.
to thank you for coming and sharing your story with us and for the positive influence you have. And God continue to bless you.
Thank you very
in all
much.
that you do. Thank you.
I'll be out front signing some copies of my book and my cookbook and footballs and things like that to raise money for my foundation. Thank you very much.
Can't believe I have to follow him. That's the pits. What's with that? Who did this program? Just a few housekeeping details before we're ready to break. You received a blue bag earlier, a Walmart bag. Our friends at Walmart donated those to us. That's a gift, which is wonderful. The immediate past chairman of Walmart spoke at the governor's prayer breakfast yesterday in Milwaukee, and they are tremendous supporters of ours. So just to let you know, that's a gift to us. Included in there is a black folio that looks like this. You should also have a program brochure which lists the breakout sessions. Just want to make sure you have everything. There's a hotel map so you know where to find your session. There's a thumb drive. It's about this big, goes into your computer. On that thumb drive is the PowerPoint from every one of the presenters in the breakout sessions today. So you will not miss any of their speeches. They're all on PowerPoint on that thumb drive. And if you don't know what that is, you can ask your kid or your grandkid, and they'll help you put that into operation. In addition to the things that Mr. Butler has outside, the sales of which go to his foundation, we have available to you some Salvation Army apparel. We have a number of different shirts and that sort of thing, and you can choose the appropriate size. No pantyhose, sorry. We don't have pantyhose. You may choose what you like. There's a couple of different logos and different colors and so on that you can choose from, and those are available to you. Special thanks to the Commissioner and THQ for allowing their media team to come. In addition to the thumb drive we're providing, the media team from THQ will be filming every breakout session. So we'll have a recording of the breakout sessions that we'll make available to you and your core, so you can have a library of the different sessions that occurred here and use those as you see fit at your core. So thanks to David Andrews, David Minter, Eric Hansen back there, Emily Auks, and Sophia Jara, and I don't see them, but they're around. You'll see them in and out of the sessions. Special thanks to our speakers of this morning. Thank you very much. We're delighted you're here. He's used to the football commissioner, so he knows what commissioners are all about. Tomorrow, just a little heads up, hotel checkout is at noon, but we'll have a room ready for you so you can store your luggage until you're ready to leave at the end of the day. Perhaps most importantly, the necessary rooms. If you need the necessary rooms before the breakout sessions start, you go through those double doors, turn left, go all the way to the end, and turn right. And then you're at the necessary rooms. The sessions are noted, the ones you've chosen are on the reverse side of your name badge. So if there's any confusion, that's where to look. If you don't have any noted on your name badge, we can direct you to something that's appropriate for you. The first session starts at 1:45, and we're attempting to maintain faith with that. And as presenters, we know that you'll be all set to go. I want to direct your attention to our red vested crew. They have a button on that says, "May I help you?" So if you were lost, if you can't find your room, if you don't know where the parking garage is, if you need anything at all, they will help you. And if they don't have the answer, they'll get it for you, and we're grateful that they're here today. So we're just about to head to sessions, but first, Rob Wagus, the development director from Appleton, Menasha, Fox Cities, has a presentation that he would like to make, and I think he needs Mr. Butler's assistance with this.
Thank you, Stan. This is such an honor to be here today. I was at that game.
Oh, really?
And how cold was that?
It's 17 below.
It was very cold.
Yeah.
I was in the west side of the stadium. The play happened in the southeast corner of the stadium. I was watching it with my binoculars, and I saw, I think it was Jeff Hostetler was the quarterback. And I thought, well, let's get a pick six here. And next thing I know, Reggie's got the ball, and I go, great, Reggie's gonna score. But I'm thinking, wait a minute, he's kind of far away. And next thing I know, there's Leroy with the ball running into the end zone. So that was just a special occasion. God bless you. And it just happens that I'm a Packer shareholder and a season ticket holder, a 24-year wait. And but we've got some great things here today. We're going to do a drawing here. For some of Mr. Butler's items. He's the author of 3 books. We've got his latest book here. One thing about him is he does everything with passion. Not only did he have a great passion on the field, but also for cooking. So we're going to do a drawing here. You have to be present for the drawings today, as well as at dinner today. We're going to have a drawing with some more of his autograph items. So if you get one of his items this noon, he'll be available afterwards he'd be so kind to sign it. But also at dinner tonight, we're going to have a drawing for a Kindle Fire. And this is courtesy of Mr. John Schrader of the Timothy Group. So they donated this. So you got to be present to win. So if your name gets drawn and if you're not here, snooze, you lose. So the first thing I think we're going to go with is, Leroy, why don't you pick out which one you want. I'm going to do the plaque here, and he's going to draw a name. And let me show you. This is what. Are there any Packer fans here? Let's see a show of hands for Packer fans. I have it on good authority. There's a few Bears fans here. But if you notice, the hat that I have on today is for the NFC Championship game that happened. Where was that? Down in Chicago, I think it was. So I didn't know which Super Bowl hat to grab, but I thought, well, I'll go with this. So, you know, there's 2 kinds of fans in the world, those who are Packer fans and those who wish they were Packer fans. So we're going to do the drawing for this plaque here. And Faith, if you could be Vanna here. Major Gary Van Hessen. Major Gary. Congratulations. Okay, our next name here. We're going to do the football. Judy Reed, congratulations. Come on down. Yes, Judy Reed. Congratulations. Okay, the third lucky person, and this is going to be for the cookbook. Leaping in the kitchen with Leroy, and he'll have these available also outside the room here. So if you're not a winner, if you can read, you can cook, and if you like to eat, you'll love to read. So this is for the cookbook, and it's Jane Mariusa. Jane, come on down. Let's give it up for Jane. Gotta love that. Congratulations, Jane. Okay, and again, these all they will be autographed by number 36. Our last item is the 8x10 color photo, and congratulations to Captain Jerry Henderson. Captain Jerry, come on down. Again, thank you very much. We're going to have more giveaways at dinner, more Leroy Butler autographed Packer items, along with the Kindle Fire in that. So thank you very much, and I think, Stan, that's it. So thank you all. Mr. Butler, thank you very much, and have fun at the sessions. Thank you.